As the 2021 progresses and we're almost at the half point, we are getting a lot of cool new devices to review, and expectations are probably highest in the display domain. Still, with all the impressive announcements that were made at the start of the year, we can't say that we've tested a single display device this year that's been a true next-gen model, and most of them were just a slight evolution to what was available in 2020. The reason for this is probably that more affordable models are more present on the market and more readily available, and we all know how difficult it can be to buy some higher-end stuff these days. We hope that we'll get to test some of the premium models soon and to see what innovations they bring. This time though, we're testing a new LG monitor which may not bring any new technologies, which considering the price of $350 is not that surprising, but that belongs to a new line of LG gaming models and promises good performance for a reasonable amount of money. It is an LG 27GN600-B, a 27-inch gaming model with a common combination of Full HD resolution and 144Hz refresh rate, official NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility, and a few other things, so let's see what you can expect from this model if you're looking for a new gaming monitor. Design-wise, LG has created something both different and recognizable. 27GN600 reminds us of last year's GK650F, which we've also reviewed, but the design has changed a bit. Familiar features are the V-shaped stand with red accents, which is a bit simplified and now supports only forward and back tilt, but no height adjustment, no swivel or pivot. If you need these, good news is that you can VESA mount the monitor on a compatible arm. Another familiar feature is the red circle on the back, which has sort of become a signature thing of LG gaming monitors, and sure attracts attention, since a couple of people who saw it passing by through our studio commented on how good it looks. Something new compared to last year is the Ultra Gear logo, which is there instead of the traditional LG logo we all know well, probably in order to separate this gaming series product from the rest. The new logo is red and looks like a pair of wings, so many users will probably not figure out that it's actually two letters. We're not sure how we feel about the new logo, but you be the judge. It sure looks more gaming, but perhaps the old one stamped in black plastic looked more elegant inside the circle. Beside the logo, you'll find the connectors, which are again oriented towards the back, which we find infinitely more accessible than the usual position on the bottom, like on most other manufacturers' models. The connectors include one DisplayPort 1.4 and two HDMI 2.0 ports, with all three supporting the full resolution and refresh rate, but only DisplayPort supporting NVIDIA G-Sync. There's also a headphone jack, a service USB port, and the power connector, which connects to a fairly compact external power adapter. On the front, LG 27GN600 looks like most modern monitors, with thin bezels and 5mm of additional margins, and a slightly wider bottom bezel with LG logo and an obligatory NVIDIA sticker. Also, the screen comes with an anti-glare coating, which does a decent job of rejecting reflections from light and windows. We also liked the mini joystick located on the middle of the bottom edge, which is used both as a power key and to control the menu, so it's the most practical solution which allows you to quickly make any adjustments, even on first contact with this model. Menu appearance is also gaming style, but very well organized and clean and clear looking. As we've mentioned, the panel on this monitor is 27 inches in size with Full HD resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is fairly basic these days, but also less demanding and therefore sometimes a better option for those with less powerful hardware looking to make the best use of high refresh rate. Text display, as with all models with this size and resolution, is less than ideal, but serviceable if you're not too picky about it. The panel type is IPS, so the viewing angles are very good, but on the flip side there is some IPS glow, as well as some light bleeding in the upper left corner of the specimen we've tested, which fortunately is only visible on a black background in a dark room. LG 27GN600 has 8 bits per color channel, actually 6 bits with the use of FRC, but is able to display a surprising 85.5% of DCI-P3 gamut, as well as the whole sRGB gamut, of course. Such a wide color gamut for an affordable gaming monitor is there mainly for HDR, since the monitor supports HDR10 and therefore gaming in HDR mode, but don't expect too much from it, since the maximum brightness we've measured was 342 nits, which is insufficient for HDR experience, which would be better than SDR, and practically reduces the advantage to a slightly better color display. Speaking of colors, out of 7 picture preset modes, the RTS mode performs the best, with delta deviation of 3.9 and a fairly high brightness, which allows it to achieve the mentioned gamut coverage. Highest contrast is available in HDR effect mode, exactly 1000 to 1, while the native contrast is a bit lower, around 900 to 1. The monitor supports the dynamic control of the overall brightness level to somewhat expand the dynamic range between the dark and bright scenes, which operates fairly transparently, but only when the scene displayed does not contain both dark shadows and bright highlights. Image adjustment options are quite detailed, so it's theoretically possible to calibrate the monitor well, but you would need the proper equipment, so we doubt that the target audience of this model would be particularly interested in that. As for the gaming performance, LG 27GN600 supports a refresh rate of 144Hz, which is still enough for most users, especially in this price range, as long as your PC delivers the refresh rate not too far above 144 in the games that you usually play. This model supports variable refresh rate on both NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards, with official G-Sync compatible and AMD FreeSync premium certificates, which during testing proved to operate flawlessly. As for the panel response time, we're used to newer generation of IPS models performing really well, though in this case it's not quite on the level of the best models we've tested. Officially 1 millisecond, but realistically more around 4. The thing that improves the impression is an excellently tuned panel overdrive that is almost perfect when set to fast, which is the default, so the moving objects look really good for 144Hz refresh. If you set it to fastest, it overshoots a bit, creating inverse ghosting, while normal and off looks somewhat blurrier than fast. Backlight strobing is also supported and manages to reduce the response time close to 1 millisecond with mild inverse ghosting, but it cannot be used simultaneously with variable refresh rate and is therefore questionably useful, except maybe for retro arcade game simulation. We have to mention an excellent input lag, which we measured at 8.6 milliseconds, very close to the best results we've got on any model with our measuring instrument. Extra gaming features in the menu include black stabilizer, which raises the black levels in order to make spotting opponents hiding in the shadows easier, as well as crosshair display, which you can pick from the list of predefined designs. All in all, at a fairly affordable price of around $350, LG 27GN600 gaming monitor offers a pretty solid performance for those looking for a monitor mainly for gaming and non-professional general use. A fairly large screen, which at least for gaming should not be any bigger anyway, solid refresh rate and response time, excellent input lag, and overall quite good experience in competitive games will be enough to please anyone looking to get a solid gaming monitor without breaking the bank. LG 27GN600 does not shoot any higher than that. LG has better models, some of which we'll also be testing soon, but it is a well-rounded product with all the essentials needed for gaming. So how do you like this model? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to our channel for more interesting tech reviews. You were watching Bench House, my name is Ivan, and I'll see you next time.